Hello and welcome to this Mortal review. My name is Wolfside, I play Mortal for about 11 years now, and I'm very excited for the release of Mortal Online 2, and I'm very excited of what Henrik and his team is capable of. So let's see what we got so far. Currently the game is still in alpha, so a few bugs here and there can occur. Okay, but first off let's talk about the game in general. Mortal Online is an hardcore MMORPG. That means you can get attacked everywhere and every time. PvP is all time present. You can compare this to games like Rust, for example, but with only one server and one map. It's a first person view only. It has a medieval fantasy setting and a very unique crafting system. Mortal Online 2 will also have the housing system, where you can build huge structures, houses and control areas. Unique hunting experience with roaming mobs around the map. Also a unique skill system. And it has much more to offer besides PvP. Okay, let's talk about the graphics and the performance. The visual appearance is just stunning. I've never seen such a beautiful game before. I mean, just look at this beautiful forest. Or this nice view here. You can see pretty far, the render distance is very far. I mean, I can see the colored forest from here, the red trees there. And the map is so damn huge. Or just look at this savanna biome. I imagine having fights later here, after release. Gathering resources or building my own home. I'm just very excited about it. Because playing the first Mortal Online for 11 years now, this graphic overall and overall improvement of all gameplay mechanics is just stunning. The sky looks very good, the details and the objects are awesome. It's much better graphics than every other MMORPG that I've seen. That looks very good when the clouds get kind of over the moon slowly. It's pretty good. The performance is kinda good. And the problem is, for such outstanding and good graphics you need much graphic power to run this. With the new graphics cards from Nvidia or AMD, you're good to go. Let's talk a little bit about professions. Crafting Mortal is very different from other games. Only the first half is the same. It's like you're gathering resources like stones and wood. You crush the stones in the crusher, for example, to get the iron out of the stones. Then you smelt the iron. After you smelted the iron, you can refine it to much higher quality metals, just for example, and then you can craft a weapon or armor with it, or do some other stuff with it. Just for example, the armor here have many different parts. You can set a core and padding material, and you have sliders to say how much of what material do you want in it, and then the stats depends on what material you used, the skill you have, and what kind of armor you make. There will be much more armors in game and weapons and stuff. It's currently an alpha. So with the crafting in Mortal you can make pretty unique weapons and armors and stuff, or like very precise making of armor for specific weight classes, for specific weight you need. For weapons it's the same. You have a really good variety of weapons. You can combine nearly each handle with each blade and stuff. There are many kinds of different weapons like polearms, poleaxes, daggers, axes, swords and so on. Each with very specific stats for specific uses. You get what I mean if you talk about the collision system. It is pretty different from Mortal Online 1. Because right now if you swing a weapon and there's an object in the way, you can't swing it through the object. I will show it to you. Okay, let's talk about that really good collision system. As you can see, if I try to swing my weapon to the left, the tree stops my movement. Same if you fight with a pole arm or something, and some object is in the way. Doesn't matter if it's a tree or whatever. Any object could be in the way, so it can block your hit. Okay, here just an example with bow and arrow. I try to hit through the chains, and the arrow gets stuck. But if you do it right, you can shoot your arrow through the chains. And that is for every object in the world, so you can use the environment to your advantage. Sometimes, maybe. Okay, let's talk about the combat and the fights. The movement in general in combat is very fluent. It feels a lot like Kingdom Come, but you have only 4 options to attack. Like left, right, up and middle for stitching, like here. If you use a shield and the sword object hits the shield in any way, it's an equipment hit. So that means if you block to the left and your opponent attacks from the left, so from your right, you can still block the hit if you move correctly and direct your shield to the swing of his sword. There's a really awesome combat mechanic which adds more uniqueness to the weapons in terms of reach and object size and swing capabilities. Yeah, I'm pretty bad at this. I played Mortal Online 11 years. I did some PvP, but I mostly played Mortal for PvE purposes, trading, community and some other stuff.
So gut wie in Mortal 1.
But now in Mortal Online 2 the combat feels a little bit more alive. The weapons in general feel heavier, a little bit more bulky, but that is good. That slows down the combat a little bit, the combat speed. Though it's a little bit easier to learn the combat in general for beginners and for newcomers or for noobs like me. And a little fun fact on the side, it's like in Mortal Online 1, if you hold your weapon like 2 seconds and a half or something, you make much more damage than if you just left click. The future will bring much more crafting mechanics, like cooking, alchemy, some other stuff. And magic will be implemented, the housing, the territory control system. Nearly all that stuff from Mortal Online 1 will come to Mortal Online 2. And that's very much content. Mortal Online 1 had so much stuff in it. It was a huge amount of content. And that content will also go to Mortal Online 2. So I'm very happy about it, that they made that decision to do a complete graphic overhaul and a complete gameplay overhaul in general. And that they stick to the roots of the hardcore game. And hopefully this will all be alright. Besides a few bugs here and there, but that's pretty normal for every game out there. So if you liked this video, please leave a like. And if you're searching for a German Mortal Online 2 guild, look in the video description. Okay, see you guys in the next video. Bye!